Illinois dumped their head football coach Saturday.
I think this is a very positive development in the history of our football program. And I understand how some people might not view it that way.
But 2 days later, there's a new coach on campus.
I'll tell you how excited I am to be your new head football coach.
The Illinois primary is quickly approaching and early voting is in full swing.
Plus, state budget cuts are threatening the accreditation of some universities.
Your UI7 Newsbreak starts right now.
From the Richmond Journalism Teaching Studio at the University of Illinois campus, this is your UI7 Newsbreak, your U of I news source.
Hello, welcome to UI7 Newsbreak. I'm Miranda Holloway.
And I'm Billy Hatfield.
New athletic director Josh Whitman has not wasted any time shaking up Illini athletics.
After the Saturday firing of head football coach Bill Cubitt, Lovie Smith was named the new head coach on Monday.
It gives me great pride to introduce to you for the first time publicly the new head football coach at the University of Illinois, Lovie Smith.
Illinois football has not won a Big Ten championship since 2001. Lovie Smith is looking to change that. He was the coach of the Chicago Bears for 9 seasons, leading them to the Super Bowl in 2006. He was most recently the coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's been over 20 years since he's coached college football. However, Smith says he isn't worried about the transition.
First off, football is football. You're doing some of the same things. I know there's recruiting involved, but I've been recruiting and selling every year I've been a football coach.
Smith stressed that an important part of turning this program around will be recruiting, especially keeping those high school students from Illinois in Illinois. Athletic director Josh Whitman says Smith's connections to Chicago are just one aspect of what make him a valuable recruiter.
You think about the 4 geographic areas that you would hope the head football coach at the University of Illinois has connections to: Chicago, St. Louis, Texas, where Lovie grew up, Florida, where he spent time coaching. Hits all those boxes.
Smith signed a 6-year contract worth $21 million. It looks like he'll be at Illinois for some time.
I'm not going anywhere. This is the start of the third quarter of my career. This is where I want to finish up my football career.
The team met Smith early Monday morning. Expectations are high for Smith, but quarterback Wes Lunt says the players still need to put in the work.
I think at the end of the day, the players have to play. We could have a great coach like Lovie, but, I think the players, we just need to do a better job.
After meeting with the players, Smith met with students at the Illini Union. Student Jonathan Aguilar says he is looking forward to seeing Smith around campus.
This was the first coach I remember watching because I'm a Bears fan. I'm really excited to see him on campus.
Smith's first test will be September 3rd when the Illini face Murray State. In Champaign, I'm Cassidy Williams, UI7 News.
With a new coach comes a new coaching staff, and Illini football fans are getting more good news. Reports show that Lovie Smith has hired 2 new coaches for the offensive and defensive coordinator positions. Illinois reportedly hired Garrick McGee as their new offensive coordinator. The current University of Louisville assistant coach is reported to make an annual $900,000 with the Illini. Previously, McGee was the assistant coach at Arkansas, Northwestern, University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and Toledo. McGee had a 2-year head coaching position at the University of Alabama at Birmingham in 2011 and 2012 that ended with a disappointing 5-19 record. Defensive coordinator for the Illini is reported to be San Francisco 49ers assistant coach Hardy Nickerson. He is a 5-time NFL Pro Bowler and a member of the NFL 1990s All-Decade Team. He worked under Smith as assistant coach in Chicago and Tampa Bay. Other reported hires include Luke Butkus as the offensive line coach, Andrew Hayes-Stoker as the wide receiver coach, and Mike Fair returning as the defensive line coach. Illinois will be the first school in the FBS with an African-American head coach, OC, and DC.
Many Illini fans are excited about the new hires, but there are some concerns about Lovie's experience coaching college-level football. Lovie Smith hasn't coached a Big Ten school. Lovie Smith hasn't coached a Big Ten school or any other college in 21 years as a head coach. Also, this year's recruitment period has passed for football and 25 players have already committed to the university. However, Smith is an impressive defensive coach. He was hired as the defensive coordinator for the St. Louis Rams for 7 years and went on to be the head football coach for the Chicago Bears from 2004 to 2012. Smith's defensive coordinating skills led the 2006 Bears to the Super Bowl and ranked 5th under defense. But in 2012, Lovey and the Bears started their season 7-1 and were ranked number 1 under defensive plays. However, his ability to create an offense has been in question. U of I Athletics and Smith are looking forward to a great season to bring the Fighting Illini to more uplifting surprises for the future.
Election news now. Next Tuesday is primary election day in Illinois. Some Champaign voters hope to beat the lines this year by hitting the polls early.
You ready to vote? Come on in.
Although the polls don't open until this Tuesday, many Champaign County voters have already made their voices heard. University of Illinois student Joshua Manning explains why he chose to vote early.
It's a way to be able to avoid the lines, which is kind of nice instead of having to wait on the 15th. But it's also just a way to kind of get out there early, get going. It's really important for people our age to get involved with politics pretty early on because it's going to affect us for the rest of our lives, and it's important that the perspective of the young people can be out there.
Champaign County Clerk Gordy Holton facilitates the early voting process, and he urges residents to visit a voting location before the March 15th primary.
Early voting is something we're a big fan of in the county clerk's office. If you know who you're going to vote for, take advantage of it. Come on out and vote. Generally, there's no waiting. The voting process in terms of how you're checked in and the ballot is exactly the same as it is on election day. So we really encourage folks to take advantage of early voting. Try again.
Champaign County voters hoping to beat the March 15th lines for the primary elections may find this opportunity closer than they expected. The federal room here in the basement of the Illini Union serves as one of 9 voting locations for the primary elections.
There's 2 nice things about early voting in Champaign County. Any voter can vote at any location. It doesn't matter where you live, doesn't matter where you work. The other nice thing is if there's something with your voter registration that needs to be updated, or if you're not a registered voter at all, you can go to any early voting location in Champaign County. You can get your voter registration taken care of. You can vote all in one step, and then you're done with this election. Thank you for voting.
Thank you.
Visit the Champaign County Clerk's website or stop by their office in Urbana to find out your nearest voting location.
Here on campus, students are finding out what pizza, pitas, and sandwiches have in common. The Champaign-Urbana area is coming together and eating for a cause. On Tuesday, Fat Sandwich, Zorba's, and Aza Pizza all donated portions of their lunchtime income to the local Rape Advocacy, Counseling, and Education Services office. Due to the inability to pass a state budget, Races is not receiving any funding. 21 fundraisers have been organized throughout the community. Amy Williams, marketing coordinator of Races, said the office is relying more heavily on the community than they ever have.
The state owes us almost $200,000. It's quite a lot. We've been doing some fundraising, and that's filling some of that gap, but we still need as much community support as we can get.
These fundraisers range from concerts and bar nights to lunches and dodgeball. Williams says you can donate online at crowdrise.com/SOSraces.
Coming up, we'll tell you about what threatens to make your degree from the University of Illinois worth less.
And it was enough to make you want to get up and run a 5K, and we'll tell you about that next.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Public Illinois universities and colleges may have more than funding to worry about. Students all over the state should be worried. The budget impasse is still in full effect between Bruce Rauner and Democratic lawmakers. The standstill has caused the Higher Education Committee to issue a warning to schools, letting them know that their accreditation may be up for review if they do not receive proper state funding. This has serious implications for students. Without accreditation, schools would lose federal financial aid funding. This would cause some students to transfer to schools out of state or even drop out. Many universities and colleges are laying off employees to combat this financial issue.
Reading was on the minds of people gathered at Lincoln Square Mall on Saturday. Although the event centered around reading, kids were immersed in more than just books. Books from Dr. Seuss to Harry Potter were on display at Champaign-Urbana's 16th annual Read Across America event. Kids ages preschool to 3rd grade listened to books, engaged in crafts, and listened to music, all aimed at encouraging literacy in young students. Groups from across the community set up stations where kids were able to be immersed in different skills and hear stories in different languages and music from across the world. After visiting a number of booths, the kids all got a backpack and a free book to start their at-home library.
And now let's go from reading to running. The annual Earth, Wind, and Fire race was this weekend in Champaign. UI7's Nina Florez has more on the 5K that got people up and running.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
The Earth, Wind, and Fire race started off like any other. This is the 9th year that the Prairie Research Institute sponsors this race in Champaign. Race director Ed Menard says that the race proceeds go towards a good cause.
Well, we do two things. We raise money for our charity, for our cause, I'll call it, and then we host an event that maybe it serves a little counter to what goes on at Unofficial. So we're a positive experience that people come to campus for.
The Earth, Wind, and Fire race has also become very popular among people of all ages. Ed says that this year there were over 120 competitors. Haley Calmer, Carol McClugan, and Michelle Solfender are among those competitors. This mother, daughter, and best friend trio have been racing for a very long time. Haley, Carol, and Michelle are an example that it's never too early or too late to enjoy doing what you love.
I'm 17. Yeah.
63.
40-something.
Michelle met Carol at an aerobics class 5.5 years ago, and they have been running races together ever since. From the Illinois Marathon to the Full at Indy and even the New York City Marathon. Michelle's daughter Haley has now joined both of them, and today these three ladies are all going home with a prize from the Earth, Wind, and Fire race. When I asked them why they enjoyed running, they told me,
To be able to go out and run with a friend or run with a family member, it's just really nice. And then coming out to races and having people you don't even know support you, it's just really
It's
awesome.
definitely motivation, the race part, because you know other people are out doing it.
Haley, Carol, and Michelle hope to encourage others to run and plan to continue running races such as this one for a very long time, or at least
Until my body wears out. Until something says can't do it anymore, might as well, why not?
In Champaign, I'm Nina Florez, UI7 Newsbreak.
What's cooler than using an old mint can to build your own cell phone charger? That's what students in Allen Hall learned to do this week with hacker and inventor Mitch Altman. Altman calls it a minty boost. You need an Altoid can, a circuit board, and 2 AA batteries. Then you solder away. By the end of the workshop, Allen residents had a gadget that could save their phone, GPS, or iPod from dying on the go.
Use against the spring, right?
Is it working? It's working!
The U of I alum is a creator and teacher of unique inventions, but also focuses a lot on community. He insisted that students crowd around tables and use each other as guides. He instructed the group step by step, but they depended on each other to complete the project. The Maker Hero will be spending 2 weeks in Allen, with one already under his belt. This is Altman's second visit to Allen in the past 3 years.
And finally today, a story that will warm your heart all day long. Lady the Husky took a long trip from home, but thankfully, with the help of one family, she was able to find her way back. Sarah Kuiper found a husky and brought him home to her family. The Tucson family brought the dog in and took care of it while they looked for the homeowners. A neighbor of the family used a microchip reader to find the dog's ID. What they discovered was shocking. Lady belongs to the Riveras, a family from El Paso, Texas. The family and their beloved dog were reunited after 4 months apart.
That is like a really, really cute dog.
It's like a real-life Homeward Bound story.
I know. I wonder how she made it all the way to Arizona. Like, I'm not great with my Southwest geography, but that's not close.
I'm not any better, but I'm sure that's a long travel.
I mean, I'd take a bus if I was her, but I don't think they really let them on just willy-nilly like that. Well, that's all we have for this UI7 News Break.
Thanks for watching. Have a great day.